All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Giving double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone. Shalom to the hopefully elect. Shalom to all the brothers out here laboring in this truth with sincerity. Shalom to the few sisters that watch. It's coming back with a quick lesson. I was playing on Chat GPT, seeing what it had to say about certain things. I just typed in, Babel and Babylon. And of course, we know this means confusion. If you go to the, Assyrian right here where it says Babel, there's no E's in the Paleo Hebrew. So if you go from the right to the left, that first character is Ba, second character is Ba, last character is La, but it'll be Babal, 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 which means confusion. So I was just playing around on it. Then I typed in Babylon the Great is America. And we know Babylon actually means the same thing. Matter of fact, I think let's see. Yeah, Babylon means the same thing. I thought it actually said that. But, Babylon means confusion. Let's see. As a matter of fact, if we go to the blue letter, it'll say that right here. Babal or Babylon, confusion. Babal or Babylon, ancient site and capital of Babylonia. But as of this present day, this is America. So I typed in Babylon the Great is America. Said that's a view held by some interpreters, especially within certain prophetic or end time teachings. And we stay in prophecy and we stay in end time teachings. And it's going to say that eventually, chat is on it. It says, though it's not the only interpretation, let's break it down clearly and fairly. And it goes into Babylon the Great, biblical background. It says, phrase Babylon the Great comes mainly from the book of Revelation, chapter 17 and 18. It says it describes a powerful, wealthy, and corrupt world power symbolized as Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and the abominations of the earth. And this is America, man. That perfectly describes America. Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and the abominations of the earth. And it says, back up here, it says it describes a powerful, wealthy, and corrupt world power. This is America, man. This is America. Let's see. It says in the Bible, Babylon was a real empire, the capital of ancient Mesopotamia, Salakia, modern day Iraq. It says it symbolized idolatry, pride against the Most High, oppression of the Most High's people. This is definitely describing America, man. It says so in Revelation, Babylon is widely seen as a symbol, not necessarily in the literal ancient city. Right here it says Babylon the Great is America. This is what I wanted. Babylon the Great equals America, and it's got a question mark. Modern interpretation. It says some people, especially in prophetic or Hebrew Israelite circles, mainly GMS, argue that America fits the prophetic symbols of modern Babylon because it dominates the world trade and politics, sit on many waters. That's going into the people. So chat really, don't understand that. Let's go. Let's see. Book of Revelation, chapter 17. It's Book of Revelation, chapter 17. It says, and there came one of 7 angels which had 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, come hither, I will show unto thee judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. Chat was kind of going off. I think if you drop down to verse 15, it goes into actually what the waters are. It says, and he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. So that's, the waters, what that's going into. So it says, is wealthy and luxurious. Let's see, let's go to the book of Revelation, chapter 18 and verse 3. It says, for all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. All nations around the world, do business with Babylon the Great. They make promises, whether they keep them or not. They make promises, man. They fund different countries. They're funding Ukraine right now. They're funding Israel, of course, and many other nations, man. They've allowed these people from all these different nations to come over here and mix and mingle and make a place here. And at the same time, the Yahweh Shem Shai's people are being oppressed. It said, it would oppress, it said God's people, Hey man, who is more oppressed than so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, man, here in Babylon the Great? So it says spread cultural corruption and immorality globally. You got the alphabet, you got that, you got porn, all this stuff, man, comes from here. Murders, portrayal of murders. You got your hip hop, murder music, basically what it is. All that is birth here in Babylon the Great. It says persecutes and deceives spiritually, turning Yahweh Shem Shai into a so-called white man. That's deceiving. Putting Yahweh Shem Shai's people, the 12 tribes, in slavery. And deceiving them through the scriptures, man. Using it to their advantage instead of properly teaching, not telling us who we were, killing us in the name of Jesus, persecutes or deceives spiritually. It says these interpreters see America's global power, materialism, and moral decline as matching the traits of Babylon the Great. And that's clear, man. It says Rome, many early Christians saw Babylon as symbolic of the Roman Empire. And the Roman Empire is the same thing that we're living in now, man. This is the revised Roman Empire, Babylon the Great. Esau, Edom is ruling. The same people that ruled back then are ruling now. It says a future world system. Some scholars view Babylon as a future global political religious system opposing the Most High, not one specific nation. We know they're going to push that MOTB soon to come. Spiritual Babylon. It says some theologians interpret it as representing all corrupt systems that rebel against Yahweh Shem Shai. And this place is all of that, man. That lets you know, that this is Babylon the Great. Babylon the Great equals America. You could take that question mark off and pretty much say it is, man. But this hey man, this is the whore that rides the beast, soon to fall. So with that being said, Lord willing, this was edifying. We want to constantly give our praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakodash. Shalom.